Hello, I'm Eric Kelly. This is the book that I'm pushing now, is Faithful to the Vision, which is a history of the Grahamstown Teacher Training College, dear old TC, from 1884 to 1975. You might wonder why I did the history, considering I never went to TC or was an old girl at the college. But I was rather distressed that in Grahamstown today, not many people seem to be aware of the fact that a wonderful training college once existed in that part of the Rhodes campus, which is known as the St. Peter's campus. So I set about researching this, and I learned a very great deal about it, particularly about the excellence of the training which the college made available for those young women who attended the college over the years. It was in existence for 81 years and was run entirely by women.
Okay. How does it connect now from the research to the book? What were you studying that led you to the research and ultimately the book? Okay, let me just... Okay, are you ready?
Yes. No, sorry, where must I?
When the archives moved.
Seat, when I started.
Yeah, when the archives moved.
It was a terrible tragedy that the training college ever had to close, but it was part and parcel of the government scheme at the time that primary teacher training should be taken over by universities, and that is what happened. Today, South Africa is the only Anglophone country in Africa which doesn't have teacher training colleges. There is a move, I believe, to reopen them, but at the present moment, the responsibility of preparing primary teachers lies with the universities. One of the aspects of TC was that it was a trailblazer in many ways. And one of these areas was, in fact, the teaching of music. From the moment that the training college was set up, the sisters who ran the training college were very anxious that the girls going out, perhaps to remote farm schools or one-teacher schools, should be proficient in teaching music and singing, because this was an aspect of life in South Africa which needed to be encouraged. And that was achieved. Many of those girls going out did teach their children to sing, which was a very important addition to life in these very lonely outback farms where there wasn't, particularly in the winter evenings, there wasn't much to occupy people, and if they could have a sing-along or something, it added considerably to the enjoyment of life. While I encourage you to buy the book, is that there are two things that I'd like you to follow as you read through the book. One is the very fine professional training that these women received as primary teachers. The sisters were very good in the way in which they adapted the college to growing needs without sacrificing any of the basic principles upon which the college was founded. So as society changed, So the sisters incorporated this into their teaching. Some of the older sisters found this very difficult indeed, but it was part and parcel, and an important aspect that they were catering for the girls of the time and not those who had been. For instance, when the college was opened, the average age of the pupils, students, was probably about 12 or 13 or 14. They had passed Standard 4. That was the entrance requirement. And yet, by the time the college closed, they were dealing with matriculants, girls who had passed matric and could, in fact, have gone to university. So the approach in each instance had to be very different. And this approach had developed over the years as the entrance requirements had been raised. They could only be raised as the general standard of education in the Cape and beyond was improved, until it was 1930 when matric became the entrance requirement to teacher training colleges. And so the age of the girls coming in for training gradually changed.